There used to be a point in my life where I didn't struggle with alcohol or drugs the way I do now. There was a time in my life where I could not feel the need or the urge to drink myself stupid. To drink myself to the point where I end up in the hospital, or with the hopes that by the time I was finished drinking, that I wasn't going to wake up. It's the same with drugs. A bag would last me a night, and that progressed from doing pinners, from a bag to a ball, from a ball to a quarter to a half. When I was younger and I started drinking, before that, I was a very quiet person. I was very to myself. I didn't leave the house much. I was fucking play video games. Like World of Warcraft, that was my shit. I had really, really bad social anxiety. Drinking at one point in my life felt like I was able to break that barrier and be more of a social chameleon where I could talk with anyone and everyone. But I didn't know it then, and I didn't acknowledge it or understand it then, that I have a very impulsive, no self-control kind of personality. I would blame it on a number of other things in my life. So drinking was a game of Russian roulette. You were either gonna get this version of me, that version, or that version. I struggled so much with that. It started off small, where I had these little highs, and then those little highs progressed and got worse. I was doing a half ounce of coke in a night at my fucking worst. I can't really say what was the exact cause of my struggles with addiction. It could be a number of things, between abandonment issues, being sexually assaulted, like the list goes on and on. But what I didn't know and what I wasn't ready for, hardships and struggles that was going to come with addiction for me, I wasn't ready for that. I had no idea what I was walking into. Because with those highs came some serious dark times, and those spun out of control for me even worse. And those lows turned into real lows. And then those lows got worse, and they turned into suicidal lows. And those suicidal ideations or fixation turned into attempts, from stabbing myself to trying to hang myself, multiple overdoses, and it just became a very vicious cycle. And before the face tattoos, before social media, and so much of my appearance, I never saw myself as an alcoholic. I never saw myself as an addict. I just saw myself as someone who got a little out of hand. Someone who didn't have a good night because, well, they had a little less self-control than they did the weekend before, or the month before this time, or the last time. I had excuses for every single incident, for every shit show that happened. But I never saw myself as an alcoholic. When I thought of an addict of some sort, it wasn't someone who was in their 20s. It wasn't someone who was going into their 30s. It doesn't matter your age. Addiction doesn't discriminate. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you're a little fucked up. It took me a long time to come to terms with it and realize I'm a little fucked up. Hell, I'm 30 years old with almost 3 years of sober time under my belt, and I'm still a little fucked up. I might not be using, but up here, I'm fucked up. Some days are good, some days aren't so great. It's okay not to be okay. You're human. You're gonna fuck up. And it's gonna take you time to figure that out. It's gonna take you time to figure out what you can do to go in a right and positive and healthy direction. For some of us, it just takes a little longer.